You know, I don't know if you know, but like 20 years ago or so, well, 17 years ago or so, I made some PvP movies in TBC, and back then there was really no prospect of earning anything or um, really getting anything out of making those. So, and I made them back then as well. So, it is something that I enjoy. Oh, you remember them? Nice. Yeah. At some point, I just stopped making them, right? Like, but if I never stopped, it could have been interesting. COVID made the world so much more digital. Like the innovation in terms of digital technology, like skyrocketed during that time. It was crazy. Like suddenly it became okay to work from home, and people that would never lay a hand on a computer were suddenly online. You know, and it's just like, it was insane how fast things changed. And like, I think in terms of societal development or like of the adaptation of technology, COVID showed us like 10 years ahead of what it would have been without COVID. Just crazy the impact it had on gaming of all things. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of things. It's also the fact that the generation that grew up with computers and gaming, you know, they finally matured into adults at the same time. Could see things like, you know, anime and stuff like getting more societally accepted. Like 15 years ago, it was kind of a nerdy thing, but now all the adults are watching it, right? And it's just a generation that grew up with those things. It's they matured, and now it's, you know, it's also that, I think. Yeah, true. Seeing it for things like Warhammer and such things now becoming more accepted. Yeah, it's just. You know, I think the internet also enables, you know, for things, for niches, right? That many times you would be in a regular society afraid to have some sort of a hobby, like because you're afraid it might be seen as nerdy or geeky, or, you know, you might be seen as an outsider. But with the internet, it's much easier to find a group of like-minded people and therefore not be afraid of being ostracized. And by just knowing that there are people that accept this, you're feeling more comfortable even around those that do not engage in such in that activity. So it kind of all becomes more relaxed by that effect. Unfortunately, this is also true for conspiracy theories, and this is why you're seeing like an outburst of those recently. Yeah, gives the gives rise to those echo chambers, and you know, this is positive and negative effects, right? But the conspiracy theories, man, definitely not a good one. Indeed, I would say that this is one of the reasons WoW blew up at the start, as it had that platform on top of being the new thing. First through social media. Yes, I agree with you. This is what people actually miss about WoW. I mean, it's a great game. It's an S tier game even back then. Yeah, mostly back then, but even now, you know, it's a really well designed game. Holy shit, that's a big pull. But what it had going for it was really a social media platform, yeah, because this was before Facebook, essentially, or at the same time as Facebook came out, and before it was really spread out, yeah. So I remember only getting Facebook in TBC. Before that, I had nothing, and this was before that you had like chat rooms and stuff, but was not really a world, right? And nowadays, or a couple of years ago, you have something like this with VR chat, and it slapped on, and there was supposed to be this huge like metaverse from Facebook, blah blah blah, right? But VR chat had this like 8 years ago already. You know, I found that ridiculous that Facebook is talking about this whole metaverse thing, and they failed to execute it. By the way, I don't know if you saw, but these Horizon Worlds, they didn't even have likes for their avatar as well. VRChat had all those things that the metaverse was supposed to be. It had like 5 years before the metaverse was even announced. I think we got quite lucky with Thunderhorn too, as we had a good sized community on the server back then. Yeah, it was a really nice server. Some healthy competition, you know, in the terms of guilds, and in the beginning there was even a good horde community, but yeah, then with Cataclysm, I think around the end of Cataclysm the server really died. Yeah, it's kind of funny that, you know, like even 20 years later, you still remember the names of like the rank 14s on the server, which goes to, you know, show how much epic we thought it was back then. Like now, if you see a rank 14 guy somewhere in Classic, it's like, oh, okay, just a rank 14 guy. Back then, it was like, damn, man. I remember the big PvP event you hosted on the server. I think it was the pre-Kata one. Yeah, I hosted a few. I hosted a few. I think in 2009. I even have the video is still somewhere on YouTube and on Warcraft movies, of course. I did like 2 huge ones. Like, so one I think was called the Calendar Offensive. It was like maybe 1,000 people there. And then I can't remember what was the name of the event, but it the acronym of it like was TBOA. But that was in Cataclysm. Oh yeah, it was some fun times. We crashed the server, and then I had to redirect the people somewhere else, like to Crossroads, so to the two sides of Crossroads, so you know, everybody could fight, but not in the same place, so it wouldn't be so heavy on the server. Yeah, this was fun.
Infidels. They must be purified.
Oh, you remember even the gross was nice.
You shall pay for this treachery.
Yeah, I had kind of a weak PC back then, so the footage that I recorded back then was seriously laggy. Unfortunately.
At your side.
Well, yeah, that was before the streamer era, huh? Wow, they're cleaving it down. This boss actually has an MC. It's kind of sketch for hardcore. So if you take too long killing her, could be trouble still. Okay, if the... Okay, I'm not gonna steal it. I'm not gonna steal it. The healer needs it, so... I'm gonna have to come here as a healer later. Alright, more grains in my... Oh my god, wait, hold on, hold on. Do we get more grains in mind? I mean, it's slower, but it's a mace. Alright, let's greed. It's good, Marty. No, it's good. It's good. 0.9. It doesn't have strength, so fuck it. Just greed. Alright. I'm gonna harsh the Stormwind and I'm gonna go hand in that quest right away. Yeah, I still think the pre-streamer era added a lot more epicness to certain things in games. I agree with you because people were doing things for the sake of it. And you didn't like that. People weren't doing stuff for content, right? Nowadays people are doing stuff for content, so they're always like trying to outdo each other in terms of the scope, you know, of what they're doing. So you get very fast, you get this like spectacle creep. That wasn't the thing back then because people didn't really have a big incentive to do it. Whenever they were doing it for the sake of it, and so there were far fewer people doing it, and therefore it was far rarer, right? And it felt more epic because it wasn't an everyday occurrence.